y'all, this is going to be a tutorial on how to create a custom form. Custom forms can be used as client intake forms. So if you have a new client coming in and they have just paid their deposit to start coaching with you, or they've enrolled to coach with you, and you want to send them an intake form with questions before you get started. This feature also works for forms before people become clients. So if you want to do any type of a form or survey prior to someone becoming a client, if you want potential clients to fill out a form while they're booking a discovery call, if you want to have a review form for after someone works with you, this feature functions for all of those things. It's just anytime you want to use a form, which we define as you ask a question, your client enters an answer, and you want those answers to be saved. Okay. So over when you log in, this is where you'll be on the dashboard. On the left-hand side, you're going to click Sites, and then you'll go up here to this top menu and click Forms. And we're going to be building a form. So we're going to click Builder. Once you've built that form and you share it, and I'll show you how to share it later, but once you've built that form and you share it, if you're interested in seeing who has submitted for that form or who has completed that form, you would go to Submissions, and that will show you who completed it. So I'm going to click Builder. And we've got some test forms in here. You will have some test forms as well. There are lots of templates that you can use if you do not want to start from scratch. So we're going to click Add a Form. And you can select choose from template or start from scratch. I'm going to click choose from template just to show you what it looks like. So you can use any of these templates. These are all editable, which means that you can replace these pictures, like these pictures you see up here. You can replace those. You can change the background. You can change the color of the form. This is just something for you to start with so that you do not have to start from scratch. Okay. I'm going to hit exit because for some reason for me, I feel like it's easier to build from scratch because you're not looking at all the things. So I'm going to click add a form, and then I'm going to hit start from scratch. And that's going to take me over to my editing window. So when you click start from scratch, you're still kind of starting from a template because they give you this base, which is a really good base. I typically use this for anything. Like I use it for wait lists. I use it for people just wanting to join my email list. I use it for workshop signups because these are all the fields I need: first name, last name, phone number, email. That's it, right? And then of course the legal consent. So first thing I want you to do is go up here, make sure you change the name. So we're going to change this to client intake form, and I'm just going to put test behind it because we're in the demo account and I don't want anybody to get confused. Okay. So I have renamed that form, and then I just clicked anywhere. Be sure to click save. When you see that yellow dot blinking, that means you haven't hit the save button in a minute, and it wants you to hit the save button. Okay. If you do not save and you navigate away from this page, your work will be gone. Okay. So be careful with that. So it already gave us the essential fields. Now, if this was a client intake form, I would probably have some more questions outside of just these. So let's look at how to add questions. So up here in the top left-hand corner, you're going to click the plus button. And this gives you a host of options that you can choose from to add to this form. Now, we already have first name, last name, so I like to leave that. I don't ever use the full name option because you want to be able to send emails that are like email or SMS. So when you're sending customized texts and emails, you may want to just address them by their first name, address people by your first name, not their entire name. So I like to do first name, last name, because then I have a first name field and a last name field. Versus if you just put full name on here, then when you go to send an email and you want that email to say, "Hey Sam, hey Lisa, hey Bob," like that needs to be separated, okay? So just do first name, last name field. It gives it to you already. You don't have to worry about it. We've got phone number, we've got email. Okay, so we've got all this essential personal information. And we've got a submit button, so we don't have to worry about the submit button. But if you didn't have one, you could, put one there. Then we've got date of birth. So it's an option if you want to put date of birth on here. I know there's a lot of companies that send out like happy birthday, messages. Sometimes it's a discount or sometimes it's just a happy birthday. It makes people feel good. So if that is you and you want to do the birthday fields, you can. So what you'll do, this works very similar to the website builder. You'll just click and drag and drop it where you want it to go. And you can put it anywhere. If you want to put it after the first name, you can. If you want to put it after the phone number, you can. I'd probably put it right there. So they'll put their date of birth in there. If you decide you don't want that, you can just click anywhere in this date of birth area and you'll hit the X button and there it's gone. Okay. So we've got date of birth here. Selling products. If you want someone to purchase a product, then you can put that in here. If you want to collect payment, you can put that in here. Sometimes I'll do payment if it's like they're filling out like sometimes very rarely pay to get on the wait list. Sometimes it's a deposit for a retreat or something like that, which may be more likely that happens to you. You may want someone to do a deposit for a retreat, or a deposit to get into a coaching program after they've already been to a workshop or whatever. Then you can do collect payment. So you'll just drag that, and so they can fill out this intake form and they can put down their deposit. Now, of course, $4.99, $5.99, and $9.99 might not be enough. So what you'll do is you'll click in this payment area. Make sure if there's a blue button here that says connect and this live mode button is gray, that means that you do not have a payment processor connected. That means you need to go to stripe.com or paypal.com and set up an account and then contact tech support, log into your CGS, contact tech support and get your payment connected. Okay. So if this is looking like this looks like this because I'm in the demo account. But if yours looks like this, that means you don't have a payment connected. So people can't pay you through the system. Okay. So you can change this to say instead of the two options are collect payment and sell products. I'll just leave it as collect payment. But what I would put down here is I would put like pay deposit, right? Because that's what they would be paying. You see how it edited over here? I put pay deposit. You can put a description here like deposits are you may want to put this like non-refundable or maybe non-transferable or whatever your policy is. You can put that right here. Sorry, y'all. So whatever your policy is, I do not know how to spell. Bam. So you can put that there, or if you want to put an explanation of what the deposit is for, you can also put that there. And so you'll leave that there, and then you can actually change these amounts. So this is $4.99, $5.99, $9.99. But if I wanted to put a different amount there for the deposit, like for example, if this was a deposit for a retreat, it would definitely be more than $5.99. You have to have at least one price here. Okay. So I would add like maybe $4.99 as an option. Uh-oh. Make sure once you hit that, you hit the enter button. Keeps disappearing on me. And I do not want to include other amount. The only time you want to leave the other amount on is if it's like they're giving a donation or something to that effect. Okay. So it won't let me, I just realized it won't let me save this price because I don't have a payment method connected. But once you connect your payment method, you will be able to save that price and you can put more than one option in there. So if you want to put $4.99 or maybe they want to do $9.99 down, and maybe they want to do $14.99 down, whatever it is, right? You can put that in there as their down payment. If you need to do some explaining, you can put that here. So it may be $4.99, $4.99 down, remaining $4.99 due 30 days from today, right? Like whatever explanation you want to put in there as a placeholder. Once you put the price in there, that placeholder will show up. I would leave this down here as 100% secure and safe payments because it is. So you can do payments if you want. I'm going to hit exit so we can have some more space. If you need address in your client intake form, city, state, country, postal code, you can do that as well. If you want organization in your intake form, I would put that in there as well. You can just drag and drop it. I would suggest using address, city, state, postal code, and or organization and website if you're making something like a speaker request form, like or a workshop request form. If somebody is requesting that you go somewhere in person and do a live workshop or speak on stage or something like that, a part of your decision making could very well be like, well, where is, what organization is this? What's y'all's website? Let me see what y'all are about. Also, where's the speaking event taking place? So you may want to put those fields in there as well. And sometimes even for your clients, I know sometimes coaches like to send their clients welcome gifts, or if it's a course, you may want to send them a physical completion certificate, like all of that. You would need address for. Okay, so you can put that in there. Now let's talk about the good stuff. Let's get to the good stuff. So if you have specific questions that you need to ask before someone enrolls, or after someone has enrolled in your coaching program, that may be a little bit longer, this is where this part is going to help you. So for example, when someone has not enrolled in my coaching program yet, sometimes I like to ask them, what is it that you're struggling with, and how long have you been trying to solve this problem? I like to ask that question. Sometimes I like to ask the question, have you worked with a coach before? What was that experience like? You may want to ask questions like, what are your goals over the next 30 days? And you want it to be just an open answer, not like it can be a drop down. It could be like a check A, B, C, D if you want it to. And that's what this single drop down, multiple drop down checkbox and radio buttons are. That's what that is. But I like to do open ended questions in my client intake form before the call and after the call. Okay. For me, before the call, it helps with having a better call, because if I have questions that they've already answered, we can actually go a little bit deeper in the call. Okay. So what you'll do is, if it's a short answer, you'll do single line. If it's a long answer, you'll do multi-line. And so you'll just drag it and drop it onto your form here. And then you'll select it where you want to edit. I want to edit these words. And so right here, you'll put the question. So I'm going to put something like, have you previously worked with a coach before? What was that experience like? Okay, so you see we've got a question on here now. The placeholder is what pops up in the box. So if you need to give them a little bit more, like feelings, did you achieve what you desired? Like if you need to give them a little bit more for them to answer the question, or some deeper explanation, you can put that in there. Then you get to decide if this question is going to be required or not. I make all the questions on all my forms required. Just me personally. Okay. And then you're going to hit save. Now, it is important to note that once you create a question, it gave me an error. It took my question away. Yours will save. So it's important to note here that once you create a question, like how I just drag and dropped and I put that question in there, that question actually saves in your system. So if you want to use the same question on more than one form, you don't have to retype in the question twice. You can just go to custom fields and your question will pop up in the custom fields. So for example, I don't know if that question I just typed is saved or not, but what did I ask? Have you ever worked with a coach before? No, it didn't say it. So you could find that question again. We were in the quick ads area, but you can click custom fields and go and search that question and it'll pop up, and you can just drag and drop that question. Okay. So you don't have to create the same question twice, it saves. Also, would be notable here to mention, when you create a question and you put it on a form, when someone answers those questions and they hit the submit button on the form, those question answers actually save to their contact profile. So at any time you can go back to your contacts area, you can find that person's contact profile, and in that profile will actually be the answers to any of the forms they have submitted on your website. Okay, so we went through how to put a regular question there. You've got the option to do a drop down, and I'm just going to put test right here. Let's give it some options. So we're going to click options over here. Option 1, 2, 3. It's got it saved already. Okay. So then that person can do the drop down and they can select their answers. You can also do a checkbox. You can do radio buttons. I like to use, like when I'm doing a form, I like to do open questions, like just open ended, where they can do like multi line like this. So I like to do a mix of this, check boxes, radio boxes, because it makes it just easier to complete the form when everything's not just open-ended question, open-ended question, open-ended question. Okay. So just keep that in mind. If you need to type any additional text for like additional explanation, then you can just take the text over here. It's all the way towards the bottom and drag that and put it up here. Sometimes I like to put up here like what's the title of this form and maybe a little bit about what this form is about. So if I wanted to do the title, I would just put like client intake form, save that. And then I may take some more text because that's big. That's like a title. So I'm going to take some more text, drag it on here. And you see how this is big too, but I want this to look more like a paragraph. So I'm going to come over here in the text box and I'm going to highlight this and I'm going to select this little backwards P. Oh, that didn't make it smaller. I'm going to highlight this and I'm just going to change the size of this then to like a regular size, like maybe 16 is a regular size. And then you could type whatever you want in there to explain what this form is. So you could just edit this text over here, however you want to edit it. Make sure you hit save. Okay. So now, once you have created this form, you got all your questions in there, it's ready to go. You can click on the outside of the form. See, I clicked on that just in this gray background area. I'm actually going to click styles and options up in the top right hand corner. And that's going to give me the option to change like the color and the background. So my suggestion is get the actual stuff in there first, like the questions, and then you could change like the background color to your brand color and the font color. And if you want to put an image in the background, you can do all that. If you want to put a header image, which is just an image that sits at the top of the form, that's a little bit more like cutesy. You can make something in Canva and upload it as a header image, and that can be at the top of your form. So I like to do the designing aspect of it afterwards. But once you're finished and you are ready to share this form, you have multiple options. So in the top right hand corner, you can click integrate and you have these 4 options for how to use this form. So if you're just going to wanting to share this form, let's say you don't have a website yet, you don't want to make a landing page, like, if you're doing a wait list, I wouldn't even make a landing page and all that. I would just come in here, make the form. I would use the text, the title to talk about what the waitlist is for, and I would put a little bit in the text, like give them some context. And then you're going to copy this form link right here, and that's going to just give them a straight up form. Like you can put that link in your bio and people can click on it and join. It's going to take them straight to a page that just has the form on it. It's literally the fastest and quickest way to do like workshop signups and wait lists and stuff like that. You also have the option to do a sticky sidebar. So if you're designing your website and you want this to be like, pop up on the side of your website or pop up in the middle of the screen, or if you want it to slide in from the bottom of the screen, then you can choose one of these options. And what that does is it allows you to copy the embedded code and then you can put the embedded code on your CGS website, which is a whole nother video. But like I said, the easiest way, honestly, is to click inline and click copy form link. And that literally will take them straight to the form on its own website page. And so that's the cleanest and easiest way to do it. And so that's what I would recommend. So that is how you make a client intake form. I will see y'all next time.